Grand Rising, my lovely butterflies. I hope everyone is having a great morning. It is very early. I am up, guys. I'm on it. I'm ready to discuss this topic today. It is something that has been weighing heavy on my spirit, and I'm here to discuss. I hope everyone is tuned into this video. I hope everyone has been taking care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love you guys so much. I appreciate all the support that I get from you. And the topic of this video, because I'm always talking about gang stalking, and one of my supporters wanted me to go a little more in depth about the handler. And this is probably the second request that I've gotten to go into more detail about what a handler is and how they relate to the gang stalker. So I'm going to touch some important information today, and I want to give a special shout out to my credible source, peopleofyahweh.wordpress.com, before we get started. And without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get into this video. Now, as I always discuss when talking about gang stalking, I always present the meaning of what a gang stalker is for anyone who didn't catch it in any of my previous videos. A gang stalker is an individual or group of people who harass another individual or a smaller group of people for whatever the reason may be. And when it comes to a handler is someone who handles someone or something manually or physically, as in with dealing with another person. A handler is also a controller, someone who trains someone, and they're also someone who handles a specific thing, an animal or a person. In this situation, the handler will be controlling and training the gang stalker to harass the targeted individual. Gang stalkers are spiritually dead. So just know that when you're being attacked by someone, you're being gang stalked by someone, just know that this person is no longer themselves. They're probably under some major MK Ultra, and they've lost total distance with the Most High. He's no longer controlling their actions. Satan is, and they're working under him. And the purpose of the handler is to provide the power and the resources behind the demonic attacks towards their victims. They're the ones who orchestrate and carry out these rituals and spells, and they also use electronic harassment weapons. Not only do they use these electronic harassment weapons against their victims, they also use them against the gang stalkers as well. This is how they keep them under control. This is why sometimes when you are being gang stalked, it seems that these people act in sort of a robotic, kind of way. And this is because they are being controlled by something, whether it's through witchcraft or electronic frequencies. The handler also provides funding to the gang stalkers, and as well as other resources. They could provide things such as food, monetary funding, even housing assistance and transportation. There are people out there that will stop at nothing to destroy the person that they're after. They will pay for the gang stalker to move in your neighborhood. They will pay for transportation for them to ride around, and follow your every move. The handlers are usually the ones, they usually have money, power, and resources. And this doesn't mean that they're rich. They don't have to have a lot of money. Just they will be the ones that have, they would have more money and authority over the gang stalker. This is one of the ways that they can manipulate the gang stalker into the harassment, and to also keep them in bondage. Because in my opinion, guys, I honestly feel that the gang stalker is a victim as well, whether they voluntarily or involuntarily put themselves in that situation. So I don't feel sorry for gang stalkers, because even if they did involuntarily put themselves in that situation, the monitoring spirits have already picked up something about them, knowing that they have a personal vendetta against you, which is allowing them to be used. And the handler despises the target and will stop at nothing to destroy them. So whatever has to be done and whatever resources have to be provided, the handler will take care of that. And a lot of the tactics that the handler uses to attack you, I've narrowed it down to, the tactics that I feel that the handler uses to attack, I feel that they come in two different gray areas. And number one is they create plans to destroy you through others. They will create a plot against you and send someone in your life just to destroy it, nothing else. And a person will do whatever they have to do in order to, to wither their way in. And that's what that's why I'm always talking about familiar spirits, because these spirits also work through gang stalkers as well. The second gray area is they create plans for you to destroy yourself as a targeted individual. And this second one, guys, this one, I was just thinking about that this morning as I was getting, prepared to do this video. I was thinking about how our own battles are used against us to destroy us. That's why we have to constantly work on ourselves and find areas that we need to heal in and better ourselves. So the monitoring spirits, now this doesn't mean, when I say these things, guys, this doesn't mean that everyone's going to be squeaky clean and perfect, because no one's perfect but God. So please don't beat yourself up if you fall short sometimes, or, feel like you're being straight off the, to the wrong path. It happens. Just what's important is that you realize what's going on, and you fall back into your relationship with God to get yourself back right. Because that's what happens. We kind of steer away. And I know I do it. I will have times where I'm on my Bible study, I'm on this, I'm on that, on my spiritual obedience with God, and then it seems like life happens. Let's just say that life happens and you get strayed away. But let's not let anything in this world stray us away from our relationship with God again, guys. It's so easily to be distracted by things that don't even matter. I've noticed that the enemy uses family more than anything now, and people that you're close to. I used to get attacked more. I did experience gang stalking with family a lot. And then but it seemed like a lot of it was coming from people I didn't know. But then I realized the closer I began to try, with this walk with God, it was everybody. And then I realized it was everybody from the beginning. I was just ignoring the red flags when it came to the people that I cared about. And that's what we can't do anymore, because these spirits don't discriminate who they work through. and they don't care about you. So no matter who they're working through, they can destroy you. No matter if how long you've known a person, how much you love a person, how much you feel that person loves you. If you detect a spirit inside of this person through discernment, it is what it is. Always remember that. Just never let that go, because that's what's going to protect you. The handler sends gang stalkers and monitoring spirits to carry out their plans. They provide everything. They provide the funding, they orchestrate the plan, they gather the gang stalkers, and then that's another thing. They don't just okay. They handpick their gang stalkers, okay? They first pick the demon. He picks the demon from his legion, the fallen angels, that he's going to send at you, because there's a different demon for a different reason. And these monitoring spirits, which are the demons that he sends to watch, he has different spirits for different situations. He'll send the watchers to watch you and to pick up on everything that needs to be picked up. They report back. He handpicks the demons that he feel can weaken you based on what has been presented to him from the monitoring spirit. Your weaknesses, your strengths, the people that you love and care about, all of those things. He the monitoring spirits, they run your whole everything down about you like a psychological evaluation. And then they bring it back to the source. The source picks the legions to send after you, depending on your situation. Those spirits inhabit the body of the low vibrating gang stalkers. He handpicked those people too. After he picks the demons, he picks the people that he is going to inhabit those demons with. That the demons will inhabit. Those people don't like you. They despise you. They're already jealous of you. I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I'm just telling the truth. These people that are attacking you, although they are being controlled by spirits, they already have a personal vendetta against you. It seems that the Most High is even making people tell on themselves. I also feel that is a gift of discernment. I feel that once you have the Holy Spirit and he blesses you with discernment, some people will come around you and tell on themselves without even trying to or even realizing that that's what they're doing. They will blow their whole cover without even realizing it, because number one, they're not being controlled by themselves. So that demonic spirit that is working through them to deceive you is also deceiving them as well. And that's the thing also. The handler does betray the gang stalker. And because this is what happens, guys. Once the gang stalker, some of them, they may wake up and they may realize that what they're doing is wrong. And they may, go to the handler and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't feel comfortable with this. And now they're a target. Now they're, under blackmail and all sorts of things because they don't want to participate in the harassment anymore. And it does happen. It does happen. It's like a cycle. And also, on the flip side, the handler, sometimes, in some cases, not all the cases, but sometimes the handler was also targeted themselves and gang stalked. And they realized that they came to the realization, their own realization, that instead of going to God for protection and, for strength, discernment to make it through the harassment, they would rather go ahead and join because they're not strong enough to handle what they're enduring. from the harassment. It does happen, guys. Always remember that monitoring spirits are the watchers and the reporters. Those are the ones that ask the most questions. They ask more questions than a gang stalker. A gang stalker does more of harassing, okay? They may ask a couple of questions here and there, but they rarely do. They do more of, they normally already know what's going on. Those are the ones that say things and you're trying to figure out how they know, where did they get this information from. They got it from the monitoring spirit. Now, spirits can communicate with each other in physical form. So if a monitoring spirit is an acquaintance with a gang stalker, both of these people know you. There's a good chance that also these people know information because people are gossiping and talking. The monitoring spirit, watching, reporting. Once they inhabit the body, they're asking questions, many questions. And they report back to Satan. He then sends the demons inhabiting the body, the gang stalkers. They start to harass, attack you, tease you, and may even come off as a bullying type. They may even come off with a bullying type demeanor, like very aggressive, like seeming as if they're angry with you for a reason that you probably wouldn't even understand why. This is because they have spirits operating through them and they're irritated by you. But like I said, these people already have a problem with you from the get-go. So even if they were smiling in your face, and all those things before, once their body is inhabited with the gang stalking spirit, they won't be able to, and you have discernment, you'll pick up on it instantly. Now, at this time, there's two spirits operating at once when the handler's plan is put into action. You have the monitoring spirit working hand in hand with the gang stalker. And they don't have to know each other because in the demonic realm, they do know each other. It's just the bodies that they're inhabiting in the physical form, they probably don't know each other. But they can still communicate, and transfer information because of who they are, what they represent in the demonic realm. And to be honest, guys, handlers are very hard to identify at first. I still to this very day think about many possible sources. And now that I think about it, based on a lot of my personal experiences, it could probably be more than one handler. It just depends on the situation. And in the beginning, you're attacked by the gang stalkers. And it's like once you become hip to the behaviors and the actions and even a lot of the plans of the gang stalkers, you'll begin to understand the nature of the demons you are warned against. Because remember, I was saying that in the beginning, the monitoring spirits, they evaluate you and they go back and report. And once they go back and report, the enemy handpicks the demons, different demons for different reasons, to attack you. It can be and those demons are going to be based on things that you're battling with, or it can be current or the past. It will be something about these gang stalkers that will always remind you of someone. They will always say something that will make you feel like it's someone else operating in someone else's body. Like, hey, you used, so-and-so, you're thinking to yourself, now there's someone else I know, that used to say this. It could be, and it's going to be someone that you had an unfortunate encounter with in the past, and, God removed you from them. And then when the gang stalkers come around, they say something that person used to say. They may even make facial expressions that this person used to make. This is because that person also had a demonic spirit working through them. Same spirit different person. Handlers are sent directly from the demonic realm. This is the thing about the handler. They're directly from the demonic realm because the handler is pretty much Satan operating through physical form and sending his fallen angels, his legions, to attack in the physical form as well. They hijack bodies and they operate through them. Now, the person who gathers the information is weak-minded people to watch and harass you. All of this is coming from Satan himself. And this is because he can't be in more than one place at one time. So he sends people to watch. Well, he sends his fallen angels to listen and watch. The same way, everything is polar. The same way God knows everything about you, so does the enemy. He knows. And he knows from what he's allowed to know. Okay? So he probably doesn't know every single thing. God can keep him from certain things about, from knowing about you, and he can protect you from him. He can keep him from doing certain things to you. So he's only doing what he's allowed to do. He knows who despises you. With that being said, he knows who's jealous of you, and he knows who doesn't have your best interest of heart. These things are being shown to him because of what's being revealed from these monitoring spirits. Now, these are the people he demonically controls through other demons, which are fallen angels. He uses them to gangstalk his threats. Because once, let's say for instance, you're trying to do, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, overall, you're a stand-up person overall. Because just because we have things going on, it doesn't mean that we're not good people. Everyone has things going on. And it's being reported back that, you are a good person, but you may struggle with this sometimes. And the watching spirit may go back and say, well, they're battling with this and they're trying to overcome this. And he's like, oh, okay. And that's the demon that he's going to send, to tempt you and, test you in several ways, hoping you, will fall. And that's what the gangstalkers do. They harass you and try and weaken you and knock you off track. And the handler is usually, although it's hard to distinguish the handler, I'm going to tell you some ways to help you figure out who the handler could be. Now, they're usually the main person who first started false rumors or accusations, or, anything about you that has people looking at you sideways, discrediting you. It usually stemmed from this person. Okay. This person is usually the one that's always harassing you about something that you are battling with or have battled with in your life, no matter what it could be. It could be financial problems, it could be relationship problems. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. Anything, okay? They usually are the ones that try to turn everyone against you. They try and discredit you, make everyone think that there's something wrong with you, or make everyone, try to say things that make people feel like you're not stand up. And they usually go to the people that think highly of you and try and put you down and, make those people look at you funny and discredit you as well. This is because they know that you are the truth, and they know that once you begin to spread the truth to these people that think highly of you, they're going to believe you. But if they go ahead and they figure if they beat you to the punch, because they're going to beat you to the punch, because you're not thinking about the drama. You're not thinking about that type of stuff. So they're 9 times out of 10 they are going to beat you to the punch, to go to this person and slander your name, and they will go as far as to make up stuff. They don't care at this point. Satan's very desperate right now. Whatever has to be done, it seems that it's being done. And I'm saying a lot of this stuff, from personal experience. Trying to befriend, and this is where it gets a little weird and obsessive. Trying to befriend everyone that you're associated with. Trying to stay on their good side. It can be family members with other family members. They're trying to get, super close to this person because you and this person were once close, but you realized something, that God told you to stay away from. So now they're trying to validate by, hanging with this person, even people that you're not related to. That, and it's sad because these people could know that these people really cause you harm, and they will still, aim to be in their good graces. This is because the more the merrier. This is because also once a portal is open for a demon, there's usually more that's going to come from that. So this is when this happens, there's more hijacking taking place, because now once they've hijacked the gang stalker, now they're paying attention. They're able to monitor everyone that the gang stalker is around and know how these people feel about you, or even if they haven't revealed how they feel, they can just test their demeanor and see if they could fall weak to the gossiping and slandering. It goes really deep. It goes really deep, guys. And a couple of other red flags to look out for with people. If you're around people that are ignoring their discernment, meaning that this person is smart, they're very knowledgeable, they're very aware, but they still choose to act like they're not, that's a red flag. Those are people that you have to watch out for, because they, number one, could be the handler themselves, or number two, they could be working for the handler. So always, watch out for that. Or even if not those two, they could just be someone that doesn't have your best interest at heart, and you don't need to be associating yourself with them. Also, someone who ignores the truth a lot. Have you ever been around someone where there's something really serious taking place, where truth is the highlight of the situation, and you have this person over here that evidence is shown, all the receipts are there, but they still choose not to acknowledge the truth. They still choose not to express the truth. They would just sit back silent and watch people that, they claim to be there for and to show loyalty to, do it all themselves. They're not backing them up with the truth. They're just sitting there like, I don't want to be involved. That's another thing. When you're around yes men and people that throw their hands up like, hey, it's not me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. When you know that it does, and they're not taking accountability, that's another red flag. These are people that are fully aware of what's going on. Please don't let anyone fool you. These people know what's going on, but they can act very, dumbfounded and nonchalant to a lot of things, just to take the focus off of them, because they don't want the accountability. Also, in this situation, people who do excessive love bombing, it can be towards you or someone else. Always watch out for that, because this person is operating through a monitoring spirit, and they're trying to slide their way in. And also, this person is being controlled by a handler. They could be a gang stalker or a monitoring spirit when it comes to excessive love bombing. At this point, you don't know what they are. They're just trying to get their way in. Well, I will tell you a way. When it comes to the excessive love bombing with a monitoring spirit, they're going to ask a lot of questions. That's how you know the monitoring spirit. They ask all sorts of questions. They want to know everything. I think when people realize that we are spirituals having physical experiences, it will be easier for people to understand that there's something else operating behind the scenes that is controlling the results of things that we're experiencing in this physical world. There are some things taking place behind the scenes, most definitely, and we have to stay aware of that. I think a lot of times it scares people. Sometimes it may make them feel like they're stepping into some spooky supernatural. No, there is a spiritual realm, a heavenly one and a demonic one. And there are such things as monitoring spirits, gang stalkers, familiar spirits. They call them, a lot of time they call them meat suits, because they feel that the person is no longer themselves. They're just a spiritually dead flesh that has now, due to their actions, allowed a demonic energy to take full place. It's living in their body, operating. So, yeah. I hope this explained a lot about handlers and how to, somewhat an idea of how to identify them. It's really important to always pay attention who you have around you and how people are treating you. It's also important for you to pay attention to how you treat others, because a lot of times there's people that has been hurt in the past and they didn't get any clarity or closure on anything, and instead of them doing that, they just build up this animosity towards this person and created a strong vendetta that allowed them to be controlled against this person. This is how gang stalkers are formed, through jealousy, through unresolved issues, through disloyalty. It's just, there's a lot. There is a lot. Broken hearts. Hurt people do hurt people. And I will be doing a Butterfly Rant Wednesday segment tomorrow. Guys, I've been skipping my Butterfly Rant Wednesdays, not intentionally though. I've just been busy, but we're gonna get into it stronger, guys. I'm trying to get this content out because I do have a lot to talk about. I love you guys so much. I hope this video helped. Please like the video, share if you don't care. Please get active down in the comments. I would love to hear how you guys feel about these topics that I've been presenting. And I want you guys to pray harder than ever. Harder than ever. And spread love and care and concern where it's needed. And, and want it to people that want to accept it. And, let's just try to focus on being a good person, getting right with God before his return, because that's the move right now. That's what really matters at the end of the day. I love you guys so much. And until the next video, peace and blessings.